Hello and welcome back. Today we're going to do something a little different. I'm going to show you how to draw two people in a scene. I might not draw the background, but I'll show you how to set up how you have the two people. I'm not going to fill in the two people. Instead, I'm going to show you the basic outline. Then we're going to learn how to draw a dog. Because I already showed you how to draw the two genders, it would be a little, what's the word? I won't be teaching anything too new if I just drew two people the entire time. So, to draw two people, they could be fighting, they could just be talking or something. It all depends on you. You're going to want to split the paper up into sections. I say roughly thirds or fourths. I'm going to be splitting my paper into rough fourths. Going to draw a massive line as I did right there. Then near the top you're going to do it again, so that's kind of like a triangle, except for you cannot see the edges, the top edge. Then you're going to do the same over here. See this, like I said, rough fourths, 1, 2, 3. Add these two together, that'll be a rough fourth. Now for the actual characters, the reason we made the triangle like this is for the shoulders. So we'll make the head like always. Again, I'm making things a little darker than they have to be, so you guys can see better. You don't have to have the shoulders completely touching the outline. This is just for a basic idea. Also, so you know where the characters would be. Draw the outline right there. Don't forget the hips. You can draw the legs however you want. We're going to draw this one a little bent, kind of insinuating a fighting scene. And it looks like we'll actually draw the feet. So how I draw the outline for the feet is kind of a half circle. As you can see right there, drew kind of a half circle. Then we'll be drawing legs a little. This leg won't be as bent as this one was. It will be slightly, but not quite as much. That means most of his pressure is on that leg. Then, depending on what instrument this character's holding, or whatever you're having him do. In this case, it's going to be somewhat of a fist fight. We'll use the basic rectangle as the fists. There, that's one guy. This would be the back. Like if I were to draw this guy out, this right here would be his back. I'll be drawing his back and not his face. You would have a rear view of this guy. That's because this guy looks closer, or should look closer, and this guy over here should look farther. So we'll draw him real quick. Draw the outline. We're making this a little smaller than we did that to give it the feel that it's farther away. You could make it still big but have fainter outline than that to give him the feel that he is larger yet still farther away. but that means that guy would be huge. I wouldn't want to face him in a battle. Now I'm not making this guy's leg as steep as I did that one. If I were to draw this out, this guy I'm facing right here would be kind of like, oh, what's happening? He'd be a little bit more surprised. I'll have his hands match that. Like, he's not really sure what he's doing. He's just kind of halving his effort because he has no idea what's going on. See, it's good to have a feel of your character as you're drawing the outline, so you know what they would be doing if you were to draw it out and such. And that's what it would look like if you have two people facing. This guy would be facing front towards, like you'd see his face. This guy would be facing backwards, so you would see his back, hair, maybe a little bit of a side of his face, but not too much. And that's how you draw the fighting scene. Now I'll be drawing a dog. Dogs are a little difficult. This dog's going to look a little cartoonish because my art style is a little cartoony and sometimes a little freaky, but that's just how my art style is. So again, like usual, we'll be starting out with the circle. Then the neck. That right there is the neck. That's where, the dog's neck would be. And we'll draw our little, kind of like what a hip would be, since he has two front legs. Draw another line. Draw another little square shape dealio over here, because that's where his back legs are. So it would be like the front legs where there's two, the back legs there's two. And we'll draw a little line that would represent his tail. Next, we're going to draw an oval halfway down the circle. This will be his snout. Now we're going to draw the outlines of the legs. We'll have one leg right here. One leg. Then we'll have another over here. This one will be a little fainter than the other one, because this one's in the back. That means it's behind the front leg. Because the dog's not going to have two front legs on the same side. It's going to be on either side of him. Unless he's kind of a mutant. So those are the legs. We'll draw little circles for the paws for now. And we'll give him a triangle for the ear. Now we're going to give a little meat to the outline like we normally would on a human. See right there? Drew a line, and it's not touching anything but this circle. I'll draw another one starting on the back of the head right here, kind of like coinciding with his ear. And it'll be not as steep as this one. In fact, it's barely steep at all. See, it's not that steep, then it equals out into a straight line. Because this will be the dog's back. We'll add a little meat over here to the tail. We're going to make the tail not as rigid looking. It looks kind of rigid right now. Then we'll add a little meat to this leg. I'll leave this as the back of the leg for now. Bring this up, connect these two lines right here, since I've decided this would be the back leg for now. Draw the back of this leg and have it end so that it's not quite touching the, I'm not sure that will be on a dog, I'm just going to call it a front hip for now. Then we'll draw a straight line again. Well, it's a little straight, we'll have a little curve right here so we know that dog will have a little bit of a stomach. Again, not quite touching this. Then for a dog, they have very curvy back legs. So we'll give that a big of a curve. And then their foot, it's curved, then the bottom part of their leg will be flat. Well, more of a line than flat. I'll show you what I mean here in this picture. That's kind of what a dog's back leg looks like. Maybe not quite as long. I'll make it a little shorter. Just like that. That's roughly what a dog's back leg would look like. If you're going for more realistic for a picture, that's what you would draw. And the first leg we drew right here would be a little fainter like this leg is, because this would be the leg that's in the back. Now the outline we're working on now, this will be the leg that's in front of that one. And we'll have the end of this leg meet up with the back hip over here, and we'll add meat to the tail. We're going to, like I said earlier, we're going to have to make that tail look a little more fluid, because right now it looks really, really rigid. So now we're going to add detail to the dog's face. Erase this circle right here. For the most part, we want to keep it for the dog's head. We're going to go over the snout over here, make it a little more rounder, in case you didn't already. And we'll have the eye right here. It's going to be like we draw a human eye. A curve. I do it backward on this one. A bottom curve, then a top right here. Now I'm just going to color that eye in. You don't have to, you can make the pupil and stuff, but to me the dog's iris seems to cover most of their eyes, so I'm just going to color that in. Then I'm going to add a nose right here by drawing a little line, and then I'm going to draw a bigger line to show that's the mouth. And voila, there's a dog's head. Now we're going to erase the outline. We're going to erase part of the outline we need as well. We'll just have to go over that again. So draw that, draw that, draw that again, and draw that again. Now for the front paws, we're just going to keep them a little simple. You see what I did there? Just made a small rectangular shape right here, then curved it back here again, and we're going to cut it off like I did right here. That way you can tell that this is the leg that's on this side and this side isn't. If you want to use shading, you can shade this side in a little bit, make it darker than that side. And now we're going to erase the rest of the back outline right here. Erase a little bit part of the tail, but we'll work on the tail last. Then we're going to erase this back over here, this back leg. Retrace the outline we had. Sorry for the silence, I'm just working on this leg. I'm going to get the erasing markings out of the way. Now we're going to cut this leg off like we did the other one and color it in a little bit, give it a shading look. That way you can tell it's more in the back. Now to make this tail look a little less rigid, we're going to have it just droop down a little bit and have a bit of an arch. And as you're getting further to the end for the second part of the line, you're going to want to make the tail thinner and thinner. You don't want that's kind of a mistake I made. You don't want it to have come to an absolute point, but you don't want it to go on forever. You want to make it somewhat gradual, and it should look something like this. Now, since we clearly have time, we're going to try our hand at drawing a cat, similar to the dog. Draw a little circle right here, except the neck's going to be steeper. Draw the front hips, I suppose. Draw the legs. Draw the back. We're going to draw this cat sitting down. So we'll make this back at a curve to the back hips. And the legs for a cat are a little similar to the dog. So, well, very similar to a dog. So we'll draw the outline of the leg like that right there. Then, yeah, we should probably work on the head outline before we work on the back leg outline like I started. So this is not going to be as long as the dog's muzzle right there. It's going to be shorter, slider, so kind of like a smaller rectangle. Then cat's ears are a little more broader than a dog's. So you're going to want to make this triangle a little broader than we did the other one. Make the outline right over here of the back and the neck. Make the outline of the legs. The outline of the stomach right here. Bring it over here. I'm going to draw that tail outline. Erase this a little bit. Erase the tail cutoff line. That was an accident. Make that leg a little better. Just kind of go over the outline. The outline was pretty good for the leg. There we have a leg. Bring this up a little bit. Cat's bodies are long and lithe. I might have overdid it a little bit in this picture, but they are long and lithe. Fix this tail a little bit, just because it's bothering me. The tail's not done, it's nowhere close to done, but it's just bothering me a little bit. Erase the outline of the legs over here. And don't forget, like right here, maybe draw the outline like a foot's behind it, another foot's behind it since it's sitting down, so you know that there's two legs and it's not just a three-legged cat. Nothing wrong with three-legged cats though. So we'll erase this a little bit. We'll bring these two closer together because the cat's sitting down, so and it's not standing up, so the legs are going to be closer together. We'll have the leg brow right here. Then we'll have a paw. We'll draw the paw like we did with the dogs. A little half circle again. You know, a little half oval more like. Or rectangular shape, depending on what you want to call it. Erase this outline as well. Move this back here. Draw the outline of the leg. Well, draw another leg again. Make it a little darker. We'll do the same with that back leg back there, so you know that the cat has more than two legs. And indeed has four. Erase the outline over here. I'm going to retrace what I had right here. Make the nose again. Little nose right here. Little cat mouth. Then cat's eyes look a little bit more circular, so I'll draw that. Remember, add the whiskers. And voila, you have yourself a cat. You can also add color to all these pictures I've been drawing. I'm not the best with color, so I don't do it. I rather nice, sweet old pen and pencil. But you guys might find yourselves you like the different colors of a colored pencil, pen, markers, maybe paint. Oh yeah, we never finished this tail. But I'll continue what I was saying as I'm finishing this tail up. So you guys can explore that a little bit if you guys want to. I'm not going to go over it on this channel because I'm not the best for it. Like, I'm really bad at the whole coloring thing. And as for this tail, all we're really doing is add the curve right here. But yeah, if you guys want to do that kind of stuff, feel free, more welcome to look up other YouTube videos. I'm not going to cover it myself. Okay, so now we're going to go over one more thing, since we still have about 9.5 minutes, which is more than enough to go through over stuff. We are just gonna go through how to draw, maybe not draw, how to well, we went over how to shade, but we'll go into a little more depth in that. As I had said, as I mentioned, there's different levels of lighting. We're going to go over very dramatic lighting real quick. So dramatic lighting is kind of like a fire or whatever. Like the light source is a fire. That means instead of being a smooth transition as some fires are, some shading is, this is going to be really sharp. Like, we'll show you with this guy right here. Really sharp. It's going to take a little bit, and it's going to be like really dark. One side's going to be really light, one side's going to be really dark. See, this is really sharp, intense, dramatic lighting. Less dramatic lighting is more like this. You can go more in depth into it. Like this would be a little lighter, this would be a little darker, and it'll gradually change as you go further up, which is completely unlike its cousin, the dramatic lighting. This is for more like fires, when you're trying to have a more sinister feeling. You're going to have dramatic lighting. If you're going to have like reveal of a criminal or something, if you're drawing a webcomic, you have dramatic lighting. But otherwise you're going to have the smooth shadows. And speaking of fire, we'll go over to draw fire next. We'll do it underneath here. Fire is a little bit tricky. You're going to want to have... No. You're going to want to have little sharp angles and multiple of them. So like so. It's kind of like you're drawing an ocean with waves, and you're going to have like little triangles and kind of like diamonds up above this wave. And it's when the fire's dying down, you're going to have the sharp turns again, going like down, till it smooths out to whatever the source is of the fire, source of the fire. Going to do the same on the other side over here. As you can tell, making sure I have those sharp little corners right there, adding a bit of the fire leave off as I go. And fire, there's multiple different layers, and it's gonna be a duller copy of what the outside is. So that means it's going to have the same curves and such as the outside layer right here, but to a less dramatic degree. And fires can have multiple different layers, so you can go again. If I was to color this in, the outside layer would be red, the middle layer would be orange, then the innermost layer would be yellow. So that would be, this right here would be red. The part I'm shading right here, this would be red. This right here I'm shading now would be orange. Then the middle part would be yellow. That's all we're going to go over for today. Please like and subscribe if you like this video. And if you want more content like this, go out.